Yo, what's going on, guys? We are back again with a new video. Today we're going to be on the War Talk number 2, episode number 2 of War Talk. You know, my new series that we're going to go through the Warriors probably once or twice a week, depending on like different topics and that I want to bring up a bit with you guys, the Warriors fans, in my subscription base. If you're not subscribed already, go subscribe down below and comment down below your thoughts on all my videos. All my videos are discussion based. I want you guys to comment down below and we can all have a chat about how the Warriors are going or how your team is going if you're not a Warriors fan. If you aren't a Warriors fan, please feel free to stick through to find out a little bit about the Warriors this year. If you've got fantasy teams, super coach teams, it could be some great chats there. So without further ado, let's go straight through our 1 to 17 of this weekend and then give a little bit of chat of some notable reserves and a couple of like people I'm watching and I'm really excited for. So in our fullback position, we got Chance Nickel-Klokstad. In our first wing position, we got Dallin Watini-Zelezniak, probably pairing up with Adam Pompey by the looks of it here. Brayden Williame will go in a left wing spot with Montoya. Tamari Martin and Sean Johnson as our halves pairing. Adam Fanua-Blake and Mitch Barnett, who's a really interesting one here, as our front row pairing. Wade Egan as our hooker. Jackson Ford and Nia Corey is in our second row positions. And Tohu Harris is our 13. So I think Jackson Ford will be on our side with Brayden Williame, Tamari Martin, all that sort of stuff. Nia Corey is going to be with Sean Johnson and that, and I'm really excited for that one. On our bench, at our 14 position, we got Dylan Walker, who I'm really excited for as 14. I couldn't really think of any other position for him in our starting role. As our 14 off the bench, that was probably his better position with the last couple of years with the Manly Seagulls. Bunty Afoa, Joshi Curran, and Tommy Ale is going to be the ones filling out our bench role. And a couple of notable reserves I want to go through before I go through a couple of talking points here. We got Ronald Volkman back, who's coming back off a shoulder injury. I think he was just rested in the last game, just getting his shoulder right and all that sort of stuff. So I'm really excited to see Ronald Volkman back in the reserves. He'll probably run out with our second team unit. Duapiki, who really excited in the first game, our fullback that we saw in the first game. He's back again for round 2. I love to see that. I'm really excited to see if he does get a crack at all this year. It could really do wonders for our depth. And Sifakula, luckily getting a brand new contract with the Warriors. He is now in our top 30. He absolutely killed it in the first game. I didn't really get a touch on him too much in the preseason review of my first War Talk episode, but he definitely looks like a stud for the future. I'm really excited to have him in our top 13. So first of all, my thoughts on the lineup is I really enjoy it. I really like it. It's very balanced all across the park. You know, we got players like Jackson Ford, who's a very good defensive back rower by the looks of that first trial. I've seen him play for the Dragons. You don't get to see much of him at the Dragons, but from what I saw in that preseason trial, I know it's only one game, he did look very sturdy there. So he didn't look like, well, obviously he scored that really nice barnstorming run try and that. But from everything I know of Jackson Ford, he's more so a defensive side of player as well. Someone that we can really trust on that edge is something that was need really. The great pickup, I think, is the biggest talking point out of all this, the lineup here is Mitch Barnett getting put in his front row position role. I'm really excited for this one, honestly. I think that Mitch Barnett has a lot to offer in the front row position, mainly because he has played lock in the past. He has played lock in the past for the Knights. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm sure I've seen him there. I think his aggressive play style is something that we really need up front with Adam Fanua-Blake there. And he's so versatile as well. He's got a really nice passing game. He can also kick a goal. Maybe that could come into play later on this year, but we got a couple of goal kickers that we have in mind. Other than that, like, I just really think that defensively, the aggression that Mitch Barnett will have up front will be really suited to that front row spot. When he's on that edge, we don't want to have anyone too crazily, like, we do want aggression on our edge, but not to the point of, like, taking off halfbacks' heads and that sort of stuff, where he's going to be out for a bit. At least with this one, he's going to be coming up against some big boys. He can get his shoulder and get it all, like, he can be real grimy, and this is the type of, like, in our front row, this is what the Warriors need. We need a little bit of grunt, a little bit of, like, mongrel in our front row position with Adam Fanua-Blake. I think that could be a really interesting pairing to bring back, like, the bad boys of the Warriors. I really would enjoy that sort of outlook with the Warriors. Hopefully not too many penalties. We've been stung by that for years and years now. But if we come out there and put shots on and we just get in people's faces and we really bring out the emotion in the competition, I think that could do us really, really good. So I'm really excited to see Mitch Barnett in that front row position. Next topic I want to touch on also is Joshi Curran playing off the bench. And again, I don't fully agree with it. I honestly love Joshi Curran. We've put so much time and effort into him. He's definitely a player I can see in the future dragging our front row, like our forwards, through into the next year. we've seen in the last couple of years him being one of our shining lights in our team, and definitely would have thought that he would crack at starting spot. I honestly don't. I like Joshy Curran on edge, but I don't love it. I don't, especially if it's outside of SJ. I reckon SJ always runs better with a hard barnstorming back rower, as we're going to talk about a little bit later on. But I just love Joshy Curran as our 13, and unfortunately, we got Tohu Harris there, who is an amazing player, but I would have Tohu up front with Adam Fanua-Blake. But then again, the more I see that Mitch Barnett, and as I spoke to before, I really enjoyed Mitch Barnett up front as well. I think Mitch Barnett could be a really good front rower for us. Even though he's kind of undersized, he's still a big boy. Like, he's not undersized, but his aggressiveness will end up raising that. Tohu offers something a little bit different in the front row position. He's got some really nice footwork, late footwork there. He's got a really nice tip-on play as well, and he creates so much space for his front rowers there. If you're running two front rowers up front, him and Adam Fanua-Blake, it'd be really tough to pick which way it goes, whether he dummies and goes himself and gets those extra yardage. It's really great for Supercoach and that, or he tips on out the back. And Joshy Curran, I just think he plugs the middle. Like, he does so much good work in the middle there. Amazing also, again, for Supercoach and all that sort of stuff. I love him there. Like my dream lineup for us this year would definitely be Adam Fanua-Blake up top, Wade Egan, and Tohu Harris. And then I would go like Joshy Curran as our 13, Nia Corey on one edge, and Barnett on our left edge there. Jackson Ford would unfortunately probably miss out, or maybe drop into our bench position with Tom Ale and Bunty Afoa coming off the bench as well. I just thought that would be the most amazing lineup, as in to have all our talent out on the field as a starting team. But I also do really understand, this is why I'm conflicted with this one. I really do understand why we have Tohu as our 13 there as well. He's a really consistent player. Mitch Barnett up front is our aggression. He'll bring that mongrel in for us. And Jackson Ford's a really sturdy edge back rower there. So comment down below your thoughts on that one as well. The second person I want to talk about is a player that's coming off the bench, and that's Tom Ale, a player who has come out from the first preseason trial and everyone's been talking about. He has been in our development for a while now, and I have seen him bits and pieces through the last, 3 to 4 years now, 3 years. He's been really, really exciting for me. Every time I see him play, he's just a ball of energy, a big boy. He can run really hard and that. I'm really excited to see him come off the bench, because I feel like that suits him very well to start off his career at least. When Aden and Mitch Barnett or Tohu or any of those boys get really tired, bring that man in. He's going to bring a whole new breath of energy, especially running out with Bunty at foul. We all know how that works with Bunty. Bunty comes in, he brings in the energy and it brings the boys back up. And the Warriors are a very momentum-based team, as we all know, for the last how many years. It will never change. I don't think it will ever change, judging as being a Warriors fan for how long now. I think Tom Ale and Bunty Afoa as our second unit front rowers is really, really exciting. I'm really excited for that one. The next player I want to touch on is Brayden Wiliame. He's definitely a big watch for me in the second preseason trial, mainly because he had such a composed performance in that first trial, landing on a couple of try assists for Montoya. He actually ran some really nice lines off the ball to give Montoya a little bit more space on that edge. Defensively looked really, really nice. It's something that we really need on the edges there. And that's why it gives me the whole thought of, we got Adam Pompey on that other position, and I love Adam Pompey. I've always thought he has so much potential to be something special, but I have thought the whole thing of maybe when Metcalf comes back off injury, and it's been spoken about a lot of times with Bloke in the Bar, Rugby League Guru, and a whole lot of other people, whether Chance can ever go into that center role there and push Luke Metcalf into the fullback position. Unfortunately, that would mean Pompey won't be in the team unless he gets a wing spot or something like that. But I do believe that that could be a lot more balanced for our team. Then again, Pompey is a very strong runner of the football, breaks a whole lot of tackles. Someone I'm really excited for to see in this preseason trial, to see the growth in this sort of player. We still got Valia there. We still got Rocco Berry, all these other boys that could fill in that position. I just feel like with the experience, we could have Chance there and it would look a little bit more sturdy, but it probably wouldn't look as crispy in attack, judging by the potential of someone like Adam Pompey and all that sort of stuff that can do some special things. Chance can do some special things, but he's a lot more of a player that plays high percentage sort of plays, and defensively he does make good reads, even though seeing him in the New Zealand, the World Cup for the New Zealand in the center role didn't really give me so much like confidence there, but he used to play center for us back in the day before he left. And when he left, man, it broke my heart because I always loved Chance Nickel-Klokstad. But that is definitely a talking point there to bring out to you Warriors fans. And lastly, this is going to be a rounded out sort of play, like, you know, things I want to watch here. So SJ and Tamari Martin is our halves pairing. SJ, I'm really excited to see how he goes this season, especially back at home. We all know that SJ has struggled away from home for the last couple of years, especially last year. Did not look the best last year. But then again, I do honestly believe, like, we also got to understand that this is a new SJ. Like, he's a playmaking SJ. Even though I thought SJ's playmaking was amazing back in the day as well. That is a very controversial topic to some. You know, everyone said that he was just a runner of football, wasn't that great at playmaking and that. I've always thought he's been a really great playmaker. Him with Tamara is definitely a really, really good pairing, I believe. Coming in to start the season, especially with the experience in that. Tamara's got some really slick passing out on the edge, is depending on how much space he does create on that outside. SJ, I do believe that with the pass selections that Metcalf was had over the weekend, where he had a whole lot of open opportunities to pick his pass, I think SJ would have done very similar things to Luke Metcalf passing wise. The only difference is Metcalf's running at the moment is definitely a lot better than SJ's. Depending on, like, this is coming off of last year. We all know SJ's running. He's absolutely amazing when he's on. But I don't know if we will see that SJ ever again, unfortunately. But I'm really excited to see him back in there. As you know, I'm the biggest SJ fan. I'll always run him home. He's an amazing player. So I'm really excited to see him in this Warriors jersey. And the second thing I want to touch on here too is Niokore being outside of him. So Niokore is in his first showing as a Warrior this year outside of SJ. And we all know when SJ has his best moments is with a hard, big running back rower on his outside. Someone that can always be there defensively, but also someone that runs really hard lines. Give me like Bodine Thompson vibes, you know, anytime try scorer vibes all the time. Niokore is definitely in great stead on that outside with a nice short ball from Sean Johnson. We saw it last year in spurts. You know, we've had like Eli Katoa within the years past, like really enjoy that as well. And with the Dragons game to start the season, we did see that tip on play work so well. Hopefully that's what we see out of this preseason trial here, and Niokore running the ball really nice and hard and score a couple of meaties for himself. So yeah, guys, there's probably so much more topics that I have missed out here, but definitely put them down in the comment section down below. I love a conversation. As I said before, I'm really excited for this preseason trial. As I said, we all know as the Melbourne Storm to be the yardstick of the competition. They're up the top all the time. You got the Roosters, you got the Melbourne Storm, you got the Panthers at the moment. It's sort of the way everything's going. Even though this is not the same Melbourne Storm team, their systems are still really, really nice. So I'm really excited to see how we go against a top system like theirs. Tune in for my review of the preseason trial too. Coming into next week, I will review the preseason trial of the Storm and the Warriors. I'm really excited for it, boys. I'm really excited just to see how everyone's running out and how we're all going. But thank you so much, guys, for your time. Hope you guys enjoy. Take it easy. Peace out.